Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the transit south node sextile or trine once natal north node. Now, this transit can manifest in what you're going away from, past, what you're leaving behind, what you're naturally proficient in, what may be affecting you to your detriment, being in harmony with your future, your mission, purpose, and destiny. Now, I'm not saying that what's hurting you or affecting you adversely is going to be your future, but what it is that what you could be leaving behind, what could be affecting you adversely, it can make you, it is positive because it can enable you in the process to pursue your future, your mission, your purpose, your destiny. If the natal north node, say, is in Pisces, that mission, purpose, and destiny, it may be tied in with the metaphysical, which includes astrology or dancing, poetry, photography, chemistry, anesthesiology, fishing, as some examples. And the thing about this is, keep in mind, when you have the transit of the south node, it doesn't, of course, it doesn't supplant or replace your own natal south node position. The natal south node position is a constant. It's there to stay for the entirety of your life, even though the natal south node is what's more generally emphasized and accentuated in the first half of life. It's still with you during the time of your life, but the transit of the south node is there. I mean, when you have it in transit, you can feel effects of it during that time of that transit. And also, too, some may wonder, okay, what's the difference between, this transit and the conjunction transit? Well, the sextile and trine aspect and the conjunction are comparable, but they're not precisely or exactly the same. The sextile and trine aspects are positive and auspicious. It's more flowing energy. The conjunction is very integrating, intensifying, but what it is, it can be some friction with it. Remember, the conjunction aspect is neutral. It can have good and bad qualities to it. And when you have, this transit of the south node, let's say it's making a conjunction to your natal north node, it could be such where you may feel that, whatever it is with your future, may be so, it may be connected with someone from your past, as an example, but that energy could be so intensified to the point where you might become oblivious to everything else in your life, to where, it's to the exclusion of other things. So that's what, the difference is when you have the transit of the south node making a sextile trine to the natal node, you're going to have, it could be someone that was prominent in your past, may be beneficial to your future, but it's more flowing energy and it's not to the point where it's dominating your existence. I think that's one way to look at it. And anyway, the thing about this too is when you have this transit as well, it's about, again, it could be going away from something affecting you to your detriment that allows you to pursue your future. If you have the transit south node, say it's in Capricorn, the third house as an example, it could be a negative, depressing situation, maybe with your neighbors, or it's dealing with cold siblings, cold or callous siblings, as some examples. If you have, let's say, the transit south node, is in Scorpio in the 11th house, it could be dealing with, manipulative or jealous friendships, friends as some examples. And it's a time, it's really about letting go of the past, in a positive way to do it, and being able, well, when I say positive way, it's a flowing energy. There's a better opportunity as when you have this transit to get away from the past in order to pursue your future. And this is also, the North Node is also connected with what you're learning and aspiring to be. Let's say you have the natal North Node like I do, Pisces in the 11th house. That could manifest in a number of ways. Like in my case, I think what's emphasized is the metaphysical, which includes astrology, and as a goal and aspiration, but also involvement in groups, as well, or even just simply sacrificing and forgiveness associated with friends. And it's really a time, again, getting away, from that South Node energy in order to pursue what you feel, what you're learning and aspiring to be. Again, the natal North Node is connected with that. Again, like if you have the natal North Node in Pisces, as far as qualities go, it could be learning and aspiring to be somebody that's, forgiving, could be altruistic, self-sacrificing, compassionate, and those are, some ways, it could manifest. If you have the, let's say you have the natal North Node in Gemini, what you could be learning and aspiring to be. Could be someone that's more loquacious, communicative, versatile person, able to multitask, being eloquent, being able to verbalize things very easily. Um, it's also it's a time to about letting go of the past in order to really emphasize and accentuate the positive attributes of the North Node placement. And say if you have the natal North Node in Virgo, those positive attributes can be about being more punctual, meticulous, being more punctilious with details, being able to organize things. At this time, it could just simply be getting your life organized, or being able to organize a home, for example. Let's say if you have your natal North Node in Virgo in the fourth house, it could be organization and cleaning that's associated, with your home. And it's also a time, the natural, the transit of the South Node, can reflect, certain, ability you may have, at this time that you're able to incorporate in that North Node energy, in what you're going to do in connection with the North Node placement at the time. And, what you have, and it's about, like, let's say, you have the transit South Node, it's in Capricorn. It could be, just simply consistency or structure and discipline, responsibility, being, we're blending well with the North Node placement. And it's about, the North Node is about what you're moving toward. So again, the fact that the South Node is what you're leaving behind, it's the past, it's what you want to put as a distant memory. It's an excellent opportunity to do that in order to move toward what you need to be moving toward, moving forward at this time, what you feel, may be, preordained for you. And the North Node is also, associated with issues one may have to address and confront. And when you have, the transit of the South Node, it could be a time where someone, prominent in your past can be beneficial in terms of you addressing and confronting certain issues, in your life. And, say if you have the transit, South Node in Scorpio in the seventh house as an example, maybe it's someone you're involved in some kind of, extreme competition with, extreme sports competition, being a little flippant there, but that is a possibility. Or someone you were in a Scorpio type partnership with, something locksmithing or the occult, which includes astrology, or something with recycling or insurance or taxes as some examples. And these people can be very positive in you dealing, if there's any issues you have to address or confront. If you have your natal North Node, especially if it's in the first or sixth house, it could be a physical related issue in some instances. Now, this transit also can be positive, again, for going away from, and all, which is the South Node, in order to, from something, in order to address, and confront an issue, which is the North Node. Let's say, for example, if the natal North Node is in Leo in the fifth house, it could be dealing with boisterous or arrogant, or, attention-seeking, which is Leo. It could be a child, or even a lover, which is the fifth house. Also, at the time of this transit, it can be auspicious to do something that you feel some natural ability or proficiency in, which is the South Node, and being assisted that by people that could be prominent in your future, which is the North Node. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, now let's say if the transit south node is in Virgo, it could be something, what you feel some natural ability for, at least at this time. Could be connected with organizing, compartmentalizing, cleaning, sanitizing, diagnosing, like a vehicle, for example, or a computer. If you have the transit south node in Virgo in the 11th house, it could be, diagnosing a computer, as some examples. Now, also, too, people prominent in your past, which is the south node, can be more in harmony and agreement with what you're learning and aspiring to be, which is the north node. If the north node, say, is in Scorpio, it could simply be about being more resourceful, incisive, probing, resilient, being able to empower others, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.